Hey babes! Oh, welcome back to my channel. Let me fix my hair up real quick. As you can see from the title, today we are going to be talking about the fall TBR. So this is going to be split up into 4 parts. 1, we have the physical TBR that I want to read. Like, this is not even just I want to read, this is books that I am going to read this fall. Period. I'm getting them off my physical TBR. That's it. And we have physical TBR that I'd like to get to, but if I don't get to them, whatever. Not the end of the world. And then we have non-physical TBR, so TBR on my Kobo TBR that I need to read this fall. I am going to read this fall. I will maybe read this fall if I get to it. Book 1. So starting off strong, we have a book that I've already started. Yeah, I'm already ahead of my TBR, and that is Fourth Wing. I've had this on my bookshelf for a while now. Yeah, I see everyone talking about this fantasy series, and I started reading it right when it first came out, actually. What, like a year ago? Was it? And I wasn't super into it, but I was just like, meh. But everyone loves it, so I was like, I'm gonna give it a try. I have a physical copy, why not? I'm about halfway through right now, and I'm enjoying it. It's fun. Nothing crazy, but it's fun. And so, yeah, Fourth Wing is number 1 on my physical TBR. I have to read it this year. Next book. So next book on physical TBR that I have to read this fall is Dracula. It's about, how do I describe it? It's about a guy named Jonathan. He's a real estate agent basically, and he goes to Dracula's castle to be like, hey dude, you want to buy some real estate? Here's how you do it. And then things just start unfolding. It's told all through letters and diary entries, which I love when books do that. Unpopular opinion, I think, but I love books that tell everything through stories, letters, that type. Like Perks of Being a Wallflower is one of my favorite books, and that's all done through diary entries. So yeah, love that about this. Yeah, very good. Next to my TBR. I talked about this in my last video, in my first video, on my fall TBR for a reason, because I'm going to read it this fall. It is another classic, and that is David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. This massive chunk of a book. But one of my favorite books of all time is Great Expectations by Charles Dickens, and that again is about like a poor boy coming of age story. So I'm interested to see this one as well, especially since this apparently is really based off of Charles' own life. So I'm interested to see how this goes. Very, very dark academia, very literature, very fall, very back to school vibes. And then we get into fun again. This is a reread, childhood reread. I haven't read this since I feel like I was 10 years old, and that is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I haven't read these books since I was super young, even though I love the Harry Potter universe and I keep up with Harry Potter lore, and I'm very into Harry Potter fandom. And it's like the Harry Potter series is a big part of my life and has had a big influence on my life. So yeah, I think it's time to reread these books. Also, I do know I have a rare edition. I have one of the misprint editions. So with like the double wand or whatever. So yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool with that. Okay, last book on my I really have to read this book physically this year is a different one. I picked is called Pet Pet Slap by Andrew Battershill. I picked this up at my local independent bookstore, and it's autographed by the author. And I guess it's a comedic. Just listen. Let me read the back. Listen to this, and you'll get why I picked this up. Boxer Pillow Fist Pete Wilson should be preparing for his big comeback fight. But having recently undergone an ethical awakening, the new vegan is busy trying to find humane new homes for his menagerie of exotic pets, including Jersey Joe the Sloth and Rigoberto the Shark. His roommate, Sherlock Holmes, who faked his own death by waterfall, is now Pillow's in-house doping expert. Pillow just can't get the motivation to train, and he's further distracted from his push-ups when both his car and Rigoberto mysteriously disappear. Luckily, Sherlock is a master of deduction. What follows is a part underdog sports story, part work of neo-zoological surrealism, and part existential mystery novel. Does that not sound entertaining? Yeah, so that's another one I want to read this fall. Part 2. Now this is the physical TBR that's like the physical TBR that I would like to read, but it's not like the top priority. Number 1 is Six of Crows. As you can see, I've started this book a long time ago and I never finished it. So I read the original Shadow and Bones trilogy, I want to say like 5 years ago now. And I really liked it. I really, really loved it. And then when King of Scars came out, I was super excited to start King of Scars. And I was like, I'm going to read Six of Crows afterwards because I know Six of Crows follows a different cast of people, which I know. Anybody who knows anything about this universe is like, yeah, I learned because I got about 100 pages into King of Scars and I was like, are these not the Six of Crows character? And is that not a spoiler for Six of Crows? Yeah, it was. It was. So, I tried to Like, I started picking this up, but I just wasn't feeling it at the time. I think I'm gonna retry it. Hopefully get to this, and so finish this in Cricket Kingdom so I can finally read King of Scars and Rule of Woods. Next one, we got a little horror. We got a little switching up. This is another possible read, and that is My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. This has been on my physical TBR for a while now. This year I've read How to Sell a Haunted House, and I love that book. I was blown away by that book. So I'm interested to pick up this and get this read. I have no idea what it's about. I think it's about, well, a best friend's exorcism. Yeah. That's all I got to say about that. Interested to pick it up. Last but not least, on my physical maybe read is I picked this up really recently, but it's a book I've wanted to read since it came out, which is Ace of Spades. Again, I have no idea what it's about. I thought that this was like a dark academia mystery, but I've heard that it's actually a thriller, which is really cool. Like, it's pretty thrilling. I've heard so many good things about this. Like, I don't think I've ever heard somebody read this book and say something negative about it. So I'm really curious to pick it up and be like, what is this about? So that is my physical TBR. Yeah, physical TBR. Now we're getting on to the Kobo. If anybody's wondering, here are my Kobo stickers. I have the Kobo Libra color. Let me open her up. So books on here. Number 1, As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. This is the finale of the Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy, and I am excited to read it. I heard that this is the best one. People say the original, like the first book, is really good, really strong, which I agree. Also, the first book, I think it was written as a standalone because the second book and first book do not have that much in common, and like the first book fully finishes out, but people say that this book is really good, so I'm super curious to see what it's about. I'm trying to channel my Fitzamobi. Next book, Board Gay Werewolf by Tony Santarella. Yeah, Board Gay Werewolf. Did I see this in the store and see the neon colors and the word werewolf and pick it up? Yeah, I did, and I don't think I need to say more. The vibes I was getting from, like, I try to like skim the back. I didn't, but the vibes I was getting from the book and what my hopes are going into this book, because it's from the horror section, is we're gonna get a werewolf slasher. Like, I want this werewolf to go crazy. I just want this werewolf to be like, I'm bored. What am I gonna do? I'm a werewolf. Rawr. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need no philosophical meaning for this one. I just want to see a werewolf go a little bit crazy. Another book I'm hoping to finish. Yeah, Breaking Dawn. Breaking Dawn needs to get done so then I can have the entire Twilight series finished. But Breaking Dawn is the last one in the main series that I need to read to finish the first original 4, so that needs to get done too, and I can't wait. Eclipse was disappointing, but I have faith in Breaking Dawn. Breaking Dawn, I have faith you can carry. But yeah, those are the books I would like to read this fall and put on my fall TBR. Hopefully you'll see some reading vlogs for them in the future. I'm already making a Fourth Wing reading vlog. You might see some more little fall Halloween horror reading vlogs, Just stay tuned for that, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Bye.